This weekend, we have Respect Life Sunday. The whole month of October is actually Respect Life Month. Every October, we consider more deeply why every human life is valuable and reflect on how to build a culture that protects life from conception until natural death. And this, of course, stems from our faith. We believe that all human life is sacred. God has revealed to us that we, male and female, have been made in his image and his likeness. And we're unique from all other creatures in that we have a spiritual soul that enables us to know and love in a finite way that images the infinite knowledge and perfect love of God himself. And not even sin can take away that fact that we are each made in his image. Furthermore, as Christians won through the suffering, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ, we have become adopted children of God, beloved sons and daughters of the Father. And those who are not yet among the baptized, God also loves so much, desiring that they too enter into his family, the church. And even those whom we disagree with, those who might do things to perhaps take away the dignity of others, we still see them as well as being made in God's image. We recognize without exception the great worth of every human being. And so based upon this understanding of the dignity of the human person, we have certain principles from God which are not negotiable. The foremost of which is the protection of human life in all stages. Because at the foundation of every single issue that can arise is that of life. And that's why we oppose direct attacks on human life, from abortion or euthanasia, embryonic stem cell research, unjust war, terrorism, death penalty. Catholics should care about many issues because at the foundation of all of them is the right to life. We care about the common good. We care about the poor. Why? Because human life matters. We care about just economics, fair immigration policies, the environment, healthcare, because all those things affect human lives. But as the U.S. bishops have reiterated, the threat of abortion remains our preeminent priority because it directly attacks life itself, because it takes place within the sanctuary of the family, and because of the number of lives it has destroyed. There's been an estimated 63 million abortions in the United States over the last 49 years since the Supreme Court ruling of Roe v. Wade in 1973, which invalidated state laws and effectively made abortion legal through all 9 months of pregnancy. And that fact, that great number, should make us ask with the prophet Habakkuk in the first reading today, "How long, O Lord, such violence, but you seem not to intervene?" I want to give a little bit of my own personal story in this area. I always thought of myself as being pro-life, both as a Catholic as well as a scientist. You can't really deny the fact, supported by sound science, that the unborn is indeed a child, a unique human organism growing within the mother, with a unique set of DNA, and that the killing of this child is a horror that's unthinkable. But growing up isolated from much of the abortion controversy in rural Nebraska, I wasn't really moved to do anything. Then when I went to the seminary, studied to be a priest, we ended up going on the March for Life a few times, and it then began to sink in, being inspired by seeing so many people. Of course, I had to ask myself, too, as to what was I doing the rest of the year? I resisted joining a group of seminarians at the seminary who would go on Saturday mornings to pray at the abortion clinic, try to give various excuses, like I had too much homework that I had to work on. But by God's grace, he finally did get me to go. If you go and pray there, you'll never be the same. standing outside the very building where abortions are being performed and seeing hopelessness in the eyes of a young woman, feeling that she has no other choice. And upon leaving, the pain that could be pushed inside to eat away for years. In that situation, myself not knowing what to do other than just to simply pray. And then as a priest, I continued to go and pray again at the clinic in Bellevue when I was in the area, and then asked to serve for the last few numbers of years as the chaplain for the Respect Life Apostolate for the Archdiocese. Again, draw our attention to what the prophet Habakkuk says. How long, O Lord? How long will the violence go on? Well, the Lord answered Habakkuk, and he answers us, that he will give aid. If it delays, wait for it. It will surely come, he says. And thus, earlier this summer, on June 24th, the solemnity of the Sacred Heart and the feast of the birth of John the Baptist, the U.S. Supreme Court gave the decision of Dobbs v. Jackson, determining that the Constitution of the United States does not confer a right to abortion. That there is no constitutional right to end the life of an unborn child, thus overturning the Roe v. Wade decision. The prayers and sacrifices and pilgrimages of many people across almost 50 years were answered. But the pro-life task is far from complete. The removal of Roe v. Wade simply returns the question of abortion back to individual states and for the people to decide. It by no means eliminates abortion in our country, nor does it remove the great divisions that we continue to see within various sides. Our Catholic pro-life message and action today must not only seek to protect the unborn, but also include the care for the needs of the mothers, who often feel as though they have no other choice. Psychology research confirms that they're in a state of crisis at that time, and that the woman often knows intuitively that the unborn is indeed a human child, that it is her child. But she's unable to see how motherhood will be able to fit into her self-identity. To have a baby, so it seems, would mean the death to the life that she had seen for herself. And so the question is really between her own death or the death of her child. Often a woman, too, might be in that situation because a man may have acted selfishly, abandoning her or insisting upon the act. And so instead of empowering women, abortion actually allows the man to shirk his responsibility and to continue in his own selfishness. But to those who have gone through abortion, we say with St. John Paul II, that the Church is aware of the many factors which may have influenced your decision, and she does not doubt that in many cases it was painful and even shattering. But the Father of mercies is ready to give you his forgiveness and his peace in the sacrament of reconciliation. To the same Father in his mercy you can with sure hope entrust your child. Our pro-life message and our action today must include care for the needs of the mother, asking first about her concerns, without condemning, helping her to reevaluate the options so that she can feel cared for and safe enough to be able to choose life. Because it's the choice of life that offers hope and is one of true power. Self-gift rather than self-interest. Reliance upon God rather than playing God. And that's why the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops Pro-Life Committee has been promoting the last few years Walking with Moms in Need. This is an initiative to have local parishes, local communities assess, to expand and communicate resources that are available for pregnant moms and families that are in need in our own areas. Because pregnant and parenting moms, those that are in need, are found in all parishes and all neighborhoods. Pope Francis reminds us that our parishes need to be islands of mercy in the midst of indifference. Because that's really what abortion is. It's an indifference toward both the mother and the child. Everyone in the parish community should know where to be able to refer a mother like this in need. And it's my desire that we have members of our parishes that will work together with this program to inform our parishes of what resources are available. And so I put a link to the website on the front page of our bulletin for you to learn more. But also, if you're interested in helping, let me know. Because I want to get our leaders from our parishes that are excited, that are energized for the pro-life cause to get together, support one another, so that we're able to more easily walk with moms in need. Many pro-life men and women today know that true power is the power of self-emptying love. A love that is willing to live for the sake of the other person. That we're not powerful when we just do whatever we want, but we're powerful whenever we're able to bind ourselves to someone else in love. If we have faith but the size of a mustard seed, what could God do through you and I? St. Paul tells us that God did not give us a spirit of cowardice, but rather one of power and of love and of self-control. So do not be ashamed, he says, of your testimony to the Lord. The pro-life position is simply this, that all human beings have an equal right to live, regardless of how old they are or how young they are, whether they live in the crib or in the womb. All humans are equally valuable, so we protect them.